unconscious. You may know a lot of them, never think that you got this. Wise words, pay attention to these wise words. And people follow people, but seldom following dreams. They tend to follow dreams, but never know what they mean. These are wise words.
We're here on another episode of Wyze Wordz. We have Damien Cone, aka Max Slim.
Yeah, that's me.
Self-proclaimed street poet, is that right?
To a certain extent, man. You know, author, you know, do music. I'm a writer, so yeah, I guess street poet is the best option, best term to put on it.
Okay, cool. Well, tell us a little bit about your background, how you got started with that.
Well, honestly, man, I always done music, and it filled my creative need to do music. I've been doing music since I was like 14. I've been writing music since I was a child, and man, just after I got in trouble, went down for a little bit. I came, and while I was down, is what I was writing while I was locked up didn't sound the same as what I was writing when I was on the streets, and it just kind of hit me like a writer's block. But I still needed something, man, to push my creative need, my creative side. So I bumped into a guy that I've known since I was a child, D. Simmons. He got his own publishing company.
Where's he from?
He's from Bowling Green as well, you know. And actually, right now he's doing a movie right now. In Bowling Green. I mean, the guy's already got a few books. Like I said, he started his own publishing company. And one day we sat down, we was rapping. He was like, man, I'd like to get you on one of my books. He was writing a series called West Side Story. So when we linked up, that's how the book came about. So when we linked up, you know, I talked to him, you know, I wrote my part of it. It was actually 3 authors on the same book. There's an intro with my little cousin, Jamil Walker, Max, what they call him. So it's basically like a West Side program. And then my homeboy Dookie, Richard Banks, he's also got a story in the book as well. But yeah, since that's what kind of got me toward it. Actually, Dookie wrote his part of the book while he was locked up, you know. So once D gave me the information, I gave the information to Dookie. Dookie sent his script. He sent his draft to me from the joint, and that's how the book came together.
Is this like a compilation of stories?
It's a compilation of stories. It is, but with that being said, once I realized how well my part actually came out, it pushed me to start a second story to the book, which is actually going to be a series.
Okay, is that more of like your perspective alone, or?
Well, this book will be.
Is this like a fictional story based off of true events, or is this just straight true events?
Nah, nothing about this story is true. I mean, and you'd be surprised how many people come to me and like, hey, who's this guy? Who's that guy?
Right.
And
Yeah.
you know, because we all know, man.
But it's inspired by real.
But it's shit that's probably really happened to people.
I mean, it's probably happened to people all over the world. I mean, when I say fiction, I'm just saying the accounts in the story are true.
The name's been changed to protect the
But you draw an inspiration from the streets.
Exactly.
Real life.
Exactly. Yeah. This is based off like, you know, urban. Let's just call it like urban folklore. You know what I mean? This is exactly what it is. So with that being said, like, so that inspired me to tell me like, like at first I was just like, I'm just gonna do it, and then after I done it, I really didn't even want to. I didn't even push it like I should have. I was just like, well, that's a done deal. Like when you do a recording session, done deal. It's a wrap. That's another.
Move on to the next project.
Yeah. But this right here, like, you know, the difference. That's the thing about music and novels and things like that. It's always relevant. You see what I'm saying? Like 20 years from now, it'll still be relevant. You see what I'm saying? So,
you know,
the good shit anyway.
I feel like content in general is good immediately. Like you need to get it out as soon as you can, and then there's like a dead period. You know what I'm saying? And it comes back.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's just like
there's a period right after you do a video, a song, where it's like, oh, that's old, you know what I'm saying? But then a year or two later,
yeah, and then see that's the thing.
Yeah,
that's the thing. And just like Michael Jackson, Michael Jackson's always gonna be relevant, and even what he was talking about then is just there's nothing new under the sun. So everything he was talking about then is still relevant to this day. That's why Michael Jackson's music is so popular. It might not be popular right now at the moment, but eventually, again, one of his songs is gonna drop on a soundtrack or a movie, or just get some more play, and it's just like that. How many times have we seen it? People live 50, 60 years thinking, well, I had a hit at the time, and then all of a sudden now they playing it in stadiums and football games, like Nappy Roots. Nappy Roots, they still playing their music in stadiums in was it Cincinnati? So I mean, the relevancy is always there, So, and like I said, it pushed me to like open up my creative side. Not to mention like actually just to be able to get the story out there. Like, no, I'm not pushing for Bowling Green to be any bigger or any better than what it is, but we do have our own story,
everybody's got their own story.
Just like Louisville, Lexington, we basically the king of Southern Kentucky, and nobody's paying us any attention. And I'm not saying that just to be saying that, but it's just, there's a lot of things that moves over Kentucky.
Oh man, yes, we're right off 65. Always been a hub for everything.
Exactly.
It all comes. I'm not gonna say it all comes up through here, but yeah,
it definitely comes through here. And so just for representation reasons, we've got to have somebody that's come out, speak, and lead for us. You see what I'm saying? So
and I like how it ain't just music. You're coming at a different angle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most definitely.
Because literature, I think, drives cultures and civilizations. You know what I'm saying? Like, it falls under art. You look at the music, look at the writings. You can tell a lot about culture and a society by what they write about, what they draw about, what they sing about.
And that's the thing, like, 200 years from now, we won't be here.
But somebody will be.
Yeah, somebody could still go to the library or find that book in a box somewhere in an attic and be like, hey, let me read it.
So in a quick, like, what's the Cliff Notes to your book? Like, what's the plot, the setting?
Okay, man, it's basically, man, you got this young guy, man, still in high school, senior, junior, that type of age, 16, 17, and him and his homeboy, they start out robbing people, kicking doors in and stuff, man, and it turns into a plot where money turns, friends into enemies. It becomes an envious situation, man, and due to the things that he's done already, that puts him in a situation to get hurt. You know what I mean? So
what's the time period?
Man, we're gonna say probably about late 90s, early 2000s.
Do you think that changes the aspects of the principles that these people are living by? Because a lot of people are saying that the code of the streets have changed since, we was coming up and the way it is now.
Well, right? When we talk about the code of the streets, man, you can't just stop at the code of the streets. You gotta think about the code of everything that's happened, period.
That's true.
Whenever you take leaders from a situation, then the soldiers are left to run wild with no leadership. So whenever the police come and they take certain people off the streets, just like Larry Hoover,
takes the structure away.
And it's not an accident. Because if they could lock them all up, they would. They would lock them all up. But why? You ain't got to kill the body. You just take the head of the snake. The body dies alone. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, nowadays the guys they're out here, they running around with morals with no structure. It's not their fault. They don't have nobody to learn anything from. So it's like when you was growing up, and you did something, you reached and grabbed something, and your mama slapped your hand, she mean don't grab it no more. If you ain't had your mama to slap your hand, you grab for it every time, true or not. You see what I'm saying? And with that being said, that's another thing that, You know, we've been showing a whole lot of focus on. My cousin Rock just had a community forum last week, Sunday, downtown, about things of that nature, you know, as far as being community activists and stepping up and, you know, voting and people to lead in the community. And, you know, we got a choice. We can do bad for our community or we can do good. And we seen where the bad gets us, you know what I mean? Like I said, that goes all the way back to structure. If we don't have nobody to lead, that's where the powers that be want us to be. Because if there's nobody else to lead, then they can lead us the way they want to. You see what I'm saying?
Somebody's got to be the leader.
Yeah.
Somebody got to step up and take that accountability and responsibility.
Exactly. Because if you don't, then you just got a bunch of people running around going crazy.
Yeah. Before we move too far from the book, I want to touch on what's the name of the book?
The name of the book's actually called West Side Stories 2.
Okay.
Yeah, it's West Side Stories 2, man. It's like I said, man.
So you got his blessing to take on the West Side Stories into your own.
I wrote it up, like I said. At first, like I said, man, it was just a project. I was like, hey, I want to be cool with it. I'm gonna jump into it. But actually, I actually wrote it, and then like people start questioning me, like, hey, who is this? Who is that? When's the next one coming out? It was really good. I was like, well, maybe this is something that maybe I should do full time, you know. So that's what drove me to start the second story to the story that I put in the West Side Story.
Where can people find this?
Well, actually, right now, True Life Production, they actually got it on Amazon. Okay. You can order it through Amazon, or you can get it through me personally, or you can get it through him personally. Okay. That's like I said, it's been such a situation. Like I only got like 2 books left.
So let's go. Name of the book.
Amazon.
Is West Side Stories 2.
Yeah.
By
man.
Do you go by Damien Cone or Max Flynn?
Damien Cone on the book. I use my government on the book. You know what I mean?
West Side Stories 2 by Damien Cone on Amazon. Check it out.
Check it out. Yeah. You won't be disappointed. And like I said, and we're not just speaking on my behalf. The other story is as good as well. You know what I mean? It's really now his story is more could be I'm not gonna say allegedly, but the guy who wrote this story, he actually went to prison for bank robbery. You know what I mean? So, and in the book, it has something to do. His part of the story has something to do with bank robbery. I don't know if it's, you know,
was it a dude from around here?
Yeah.
Was his name Terrence?
Nah, okay. Richard. His real name is Richard, but we call him Dookie. Yeah, man. Man, me and Dookie did like 2.5 years together. And man, we was already close. We knew each other he was the first person I seen when I got down. You know, after I left the Rotary. So yeah, we got real close, man. But you know, it was like we still like brothers. You know, my workout partner. So when the opportunity presented itself, shit, why not put bro in? You feel me?
Right.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
All right. So, you know, it's no doubt about it. Everybody's kind of had their struggles within life. Touch on a certain struggle or obstacle that you've encountered that you've overcame. And tell us a little bit about that.
So you did a stint in prison, right?
Yeah.
So specifically, you did the stint. You came home and you're sitting right here with us today. So you've obviously did something right. So tell us a little bit about what your key to keeping your head above water and keeping your feet out the flames.
Yeah, it was all a mind state thing. You know, man. Honestly. When I caught my time, man, I had been used to getting slaps on the wrist, you know, probation here, and when I actually went down and I felt that alone feeling, you know, like people always tell you, man, you go do your time, you're gonna do it by yourself. Like when I took my time, nobody stood up in court and say, "That's my dog, give me half of that, I'm gonna do it with it." Nobody did that. You see what I'm saying? And some, you know, I had a few down ass motherfuckers who rolled with me, man, who, you know, helped fund my campaign. But when I got to prison, man, in my mind, all I could think is, man, I can't do this no more. There's nothing in this motherfucker for me but to learn how to be better, you know. And that day never went by that I didn't read. The opportunity to get in a class while I was locked up never went by while I didn't get in the class. And my thing was, I can't get out now. I gotta find my way out. You know what I'm saying? So every time a class opened up, I jumped in it. You know, horticulture, MRT, SAP. I don't give a fuck what nobody say.
But you got two types of people in there. Some people are taking them classes just to look good to the board, and then some people are taking.
That's definitely what my motivation was the board. You know what I mean? Don't get it twisted.
So why you in there though?
Something clicked on me. Something was like, man, this ain't you. This ain't no. Regardless of what you taught yourself, regardless of what you said to yourself, this ain't the type of motherfucker that you. This ain't the type of person that you are. I don't care what nobody say. You know, hard, stupid, call it whatever you want. Prison is prison. It's a slave camp. You go in there, you work for 25, 50 cents a day, doing the same shit that you would do if you was on the streets. So why stay in prison? There's nothing you can. I can offer the world nothing with me in prison. I can offer my children nothing with me in prison. I can offer my mother nothing with me in prison. I can offer my brothers, sisters nothing with me being in prison. You know, I feel like
a different world.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a pillar in my family and in my community. What do I offer them? If I'm back to what we was talking about, there's no structure. If all your leaders are gone, you see what I'm saying? So. You know, I'm a leader in my family. You know, I have 3 children. You know, what can they learn from me by being locked up? And all I can do is talk to them on the phone when I get that opportunity. You know, I did 2.5 years without seeing my daughters at all because my baby mama wouldn't even allow them to come to the prison. And when my son came, it broke his heart so much. I was like, man, I can't keep doing this to my family. My mother, you know, the girl I was with at the time, I could tell, man, it took its toll on everybody.
So it sounds like you changed your mind, and you got to change your mind before you change your life.
Yeah, the real change comes within. Before you want to change anything on the outside, you can change it on the inside.
So that happened, and then you obviously made parole. So when you hit the streets out here is when the real test started.
And you know, I only did 2.5 years, man, but I know guys, man, that's been gone 10, 20, 14, 15. I got 2 brothers, man, that just came home. They did 25. You know, each one of them had 50 years sentence. They did 25 on it. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, and honestly, man, it's just that's a waste of time. Whenever the whole time, say everybody goes to jail, then they get out of jail, and either they go back to jail or they get out of jail and do what they should have been doing before they went to jail.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's 2.5. I can always get money back. I can always get friends back. I can always bang new bit, but I can't get that 2.5 years back.
No.
And when it boils down to it, what's more important than time that you can't get back?
That's it. Yeah, that's the only thing.
Time. You can replace anything,
right,
but you can't replace your time.
No, you can't. So
I took that time to learn everything that I could possibly learn. You know, when I came out, I started my own business, landscaping, you know what I'm saying? Not to mention, before I even did that, I was working 2 jobs at a time, you know what I mean? So, and I was
yourself busy then.
Yeah. Not to mention, I was still doing classes on the street. My out day wasn't till 2029, 2030. I've already killed all my time.
Huh.
Yeah, I walked it down on the streets doing more programs.
So you got meritorious time on the street.
Yeah, work time credit, and so like it clicked in my head, man, that I can, you know, what can I offer locked up, you know, and this world is huge, this world is vast, man. Like you can overcome any struggle as long as you want to overcome it, you know. If you want to overcome the struggle, you have to be the one to overcome. I can't say you're gonna overcome the struggle and you just do it. Nah.
It's got to click too, like you were saying earlier. Like you can put all the information or resources in front of someone, but until it clicks and they know that, you know, they got to make a change, it's not gonna happen.
And I know a bunch of smart individuals that's locked up, man. All they do is read culture books. You know, they read religion. I mean, I've read the Bible 3 times, and I started reading the Quran. You know, I'm a spiritual person, but you know,
what'd you get more out of? If you had to pick one.
If I had to pick one,
you
can't get one. You can't get one without the other.
Okay.
Because.
But what did you learn personally? Get more out of reading?
for me, it was for me it was this. I didn't pick it up to read it just because, I felt like I picked it up and read it because something pulled me to reading the Bible. And I've always had a Baptist background.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but I was always told, what I've always thought, you can't tell, because there's always been time when people quote things out of the Bible and quote this and quote that. You'd be surprised how wrong they are. You know what I mean? Because, you got a bunch of people listening who don't actually read it themselves. So I was like, before I let a person be able to tell me what I'm doing wrong, let me learn what's right and wrong on my own. You see what I'm saying? So, like, just like my neighbor, one day he come downstairs and he quoted me something out of the Bible, and I was like,
he could have just made it up.
He did. I said,
He could have made it up.
I said, you're wrong. He was like, what do you mean I'm wrong? I said, man, you're wrong. That's not how it goes. I've read the Bible. Yeah. I know that's not right. And he ran upstairs, grabbed his Bible. I'm cooking out. When we come back down, he started reading the part that he thought he was saying right. And when he realized he was saying it wrong, he closed it and went back upstairs talking about I'm sorry, and then bought a book of Borman down there the next day. This is stuff that I really truly I'm interested in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what drove me to pick up the Quran. And like people fail to realize, man, you can't get the Quran without the first testament of the Bible. A lot of people don't know that. Because they never took the time to pick it up.
So that's just the book of Genesis.
Genesis, the First Testament. No,
Right.
the whole First Testament. Yeah, that's because the Quran and the Bible don't split off until I don't want to quote it wrong.
Oh, you be like that other guy.
Yeah, I don't want to quote it wrong, but Ishmael, is it Isaac? Yeah, Ishmael. Yeah, he don't want no smoke. Hey, but either way, let's not even get into that, man.
Yeah, because that's a whole.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about struggles, man. I want to know, like, what's an accomplishment you've had in your life that you're most proud of?
My children, man. My children, as much as they drive me damn crazy, they to watch them grow and to watch them become the people that they're growing into. Whether some of the decisions I like or I don't like, man, it's been a beautiful journey to actually watch them grow up from babies to be who they are now with their own personalities, man. And I believe that's the best feat any father can accomplish.
How many kids? What's the ages of it?
I got one that's 10, about to turn 11. 115 about to turn 16, 120 about to turn 21.
Gotcha. If you had to give like one piece of advice to a new father, what would it be?
Cherish it all. The good and the bad, man.
Quick.
Yeah, man. Cherish it all. Don't miss it. Don't miss a moment if you can afford not to miss a moment. Don't miss a moment.
Go
take
as many games you can. And
see, my children, they wasn't really like that. That sports wasn't their thing. I ended up going to a lot of recitals difference. But like I said, I got my children instead of more athletic, they're more intellectual. You know what I mean?
That's game.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I don't think the apple falls far from the tree. You know what I mean? So I did my time. I played my sports, but trouble found his way to me, so it was a whole different.
That's what we're here for, is to maybe keep somebody else from going down that road.
Well, to be honest with you, man, like my son, man, he's a young man, and I believe, man, that life could be worse for him than what it is now. Had not I've been there to say, hey, man, don't do this, or do that. I believe, man, whether we believe it or not, when our kids are making decisions, those type of things register in their brain, like, Daddy told me not to do it. He told me what the outcome would be, and they still might do it.
Yeah.
But they're gonna have, but they got to find out.
They might reinforce something that you told
them about. Like,
so he told me that was
exactly.
Work out
you
like
know what I'm saying?
You might listen to
so maybe next time,
How the song go? You got to live and learn.
Right.
You got to live and learn, man. So so I'd say that's probably my greatest accomplishment, man. And outside of that, anything else I could start today and walk away from tomorrow. It's never been a hard problem for me to walk away from something, but I couldn't walk away from my kids.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? That's my greatest accomplishment. You know, and with that being that, but it took a village for me to get that way. You know, my uncles and my mother, my grandfathers, and all the game they gave me down over the years. It started clicking. Like when I got locked up, like you told me this was gonna happen. You told me that was gonna happen, and it did. You know, but shit, hard head brings soft edge. You know, I had to find out on my own. So that's the biggest thing I try to teach anybody. Like, man, I like the girl I'm with now. She don't believe anything I say is true. Like, it be to her it's so far fetched. Like, she's like, there's no way that that's true. And I be like, I ain't got time to sit here and lie to you about a goddamn thing. You know what I mean? And then when we get around family and we sitting around talking, they holler, you remember that time? And she look at me like, I mean, yeah.
Some people live in bubbles.
Yeah, true. You know, and I mean, like, and I'm not glorifying it to say, but had I have listened, I never had to learn that way. You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing. So that's another thing that, you know, I'm really huge on right now, man. Is just trying to teach what I know to people. You know, it could be a stranger. You know, but the thing is, man, I just want to push positivity. You know, I don't want to push no foolishness no more. I mean,
at the end of the day, if you don't share it with someone, man, it's wasted.
It's wasted, yeah. And like I said, you ain't gotta be a friend for me to, hey man, I wouldn't do it. You know, hey, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just because at the end of the day, we're all brothers, you know, and we've all got to look out for one another, because the government sure they ain't gonna look out for us solely. You know, we gotta look out for one another as a community.
You said there's a community group or something y'all working on? What is it?
Yeah, man. Well, my cousin started with a community forum last week. You know, he brought some guys in from Nashville.
Where's this at, and how can people
get out? Well, actually, what it started from, I don't know if y'all know, ever heard of Larry Turner, LT, from Nashville? North Nashville? Y'all ever heard of him? Y'all ever heard of Gideon's Army in Nashville?
Yeah.
Well, he's like one of the leaders of Gideon's Army.
Okay.
So he actually caught a life sentence in Nashville, gave the life sentence back to the feds, and came home, and he came out with a book. It's called What's Your Excuse? And what he's actually done, man, he's been on political trails, you know, campaign trails. I mean, the guy's a real deal, you know, and that's where we've gained our inspiration from this man. He actually spoke at the forum last week. And this is where we gained our, you know, for us to change our community, somebody has to push change, you know, because it's obvious what the police is doing for our communities has failed. I mean,
and it starts grassroots. It starts local.
Yeah, exactly.
We
so
can't worry about what CNN and Fox
exactly,
News is
because
talking about.
we can't change nothing else until we change things here.
Right.
So with that being said, so who's out running the campaign trail for us?
Yeah.
The things that we want to change. I mean, how old is Mitch McConnell? What do he know about Generation X or Generation Z?
Yeah.
You know, things change over time. So who's speaking for change for us? No, who's looking to
who's the next one?
Yeah, who's gonna do our community outreaches?
I mean,
exactly.
Yeah.
So why not? You know, why not? I've seen all the things that the bad can get me. So let's see what the good can get. Let's see what the good can get us. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, when they had the forum, it lit a fire under my ass.
Where was the forum at? Where'd they have it?
There's a couple buildings down. I don't know the name of the building, man. It's right there on the square, man. It's a pretty building. It was a great forum, you know.
Pretty building.
Yeah,
great forum.
yeah.
So who could somebody get in touch with around here that wanted to get involved with that?
All right, actually, man, Cedric Burnham was actually there as a speaker. You know, Carlos Bailey was there. He spoke. You know, like I said, you can get a hold of Larry Turner on a Instagram. That's his tag name, Larry Turner. or you can go to Gideon's Army's page, or you can go to On the Spot, which is Richard McKenzie's page. Actually, if you want to get involved in the things that we're going to try to do local, it's best to probably get a hold of Richard McKenzie on the Spot on Instagram, because he's the one that started the charge. So I ain't gonna take a spotlight from him.
We'll try to link all this and to keep.
Okay. And I mean, actually, if y'all would like to get him down here as a guest, or LT as a guest, I can definitely reach out. Like I said, it's all about sharing information. Information is wealth. You see what I'm saying? So the more you know, the more you grow, and that's the outlook that I'm looking on. But just like, when it comes to politics, like I said, nobody's ever touched politics on our generation. No, how many times you ever been around somebody that ran for office?
Right. I can speak on one person though. You know what I'm saying? That's my age that actually tried to run for office in that one-horse town. You know what I'm saying? Russellville. Yeah. They shot he got his ass handed.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing, if the community had been behind him, they couldn't have just shot him down, because it's up to the politics that we want. You see what I'm saying? We can't just expect a politician to be like, oh, well, we're going to look out for them over here.
You said it, though. The reason he lost is because he didn't carry the older crowd.
Right.
So the older crowd had more of a voice than the younger crowd, and I think that's because the younger crowd just ain't saying nothing, right?
Yeah, because the younger crowd just used to getting what they dished. Nobody's ever talked to them about, if you want to change this is how you go about it. You can't change laws by voting for a president. Nah, you see what I'm saying? If you want to change laws, you gotta follow and voice what you want to get behind. You see what I'm saying? You can't just hope for the best. How many times has hoping for the best helped you in a situation?
Never.
Right. Yeah, you gotta charge. You gotta lead. You gotta rush in, man. And that's what this is about, man. This is about change, man. Nothing's gonna change for us till we change it. And it's sad to say that it took me 40 years to figure it out.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But now it's the light's on. Now I'm thinking, wow, man, I'm really watching people overcome situations that you was pretty much as impossible. A life sentence? Could you imagine giving a federal government back a life sentence?
That's powerful.
Yeah, this man is a real step, and we ain't just talking about stepping on shit. We talking about he's actually, man. When you get a chance, man, go follow his page, Larry Turner, man, LT, man, and you're gonna see that what I'm talking about. Y'all gonna see where this fire is coming from, man. Positiveness, man. This is all positive. And tension's high in America right now. Tension's high. Yeah, tension's high in America. Tension's high all over the world.
Yeah.
If you really paying attention.
And look at the leaders we got. That they give us, basically.
Hey, they didn't give us to them. We let them come in there, because we could have voted for whoever we wanted to be in there. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. So we can't. If I didn't vote last year, what can I say about who's in the seat now?
But to touch on what you just said, though, it don't matter who you vote on the higher levels. You got to start.
You got to start locally. Yeah. That's not no arena. That's a whole
change happens.
Yeah, man. And that's a whole nother arena. We didn't grow up in that type of situation where our parents are politicking us about government. We try to stay as far away from government as possible until we realize our voices mean something.
Right.
And thanks to the cell phone game, we caught a lot of corruption.
Oh yeah.
We've caught a lot of corruption. So everything that we was just being told, now we realize, hey man, this shit might be a lie. And there's a lot of lies being told. And there's a lot of lies that's been told that we just took. Because we never took the time to open up a book and read what the truth was.
Right.
Or we didn't know if we could do anything if we did know it was a lie.
Exactly.
We was distracted, preoccupied with something,
exactly,
chasing the American dream that they sold us. That's a rabbit hole, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, hey, what are you gonna do to change it?
Right.
Like my buddy Bush said, what's your excuse?
Hey, that's all it sounds like, man. Excuses right now. You know what I mean? We can change things.
I got a motto I like to live by. It's called FYE. It stands for fuck your excuses.
Fuck your excuses. It's just an excuse, man. We can do what we want to do. All we got to do is do it. And all you got to do is find like-minded people like yourself to do it, just like y'all's podcast. Mm-hmm. If one of y'all want to do it and the other one was dragging his feet, would it ever move anywhere?
No.
Exactly. So y'all got to be like-minded together to be able to make this, to be able to accomplish
this. And
this.
that's the thing, like, he's a big proponent of just, hey, do it. Just get it, you know what I'm saying? Even if it ain't perfect right now, or if shit ain't the way you want it to be, just fucking put it in motion.
Exactly, because
and then everything will work itself out, you know.
Exactly, man, because every winner's going to tell you they never become a winner unless they never failed. Mm-hmm. Don't be afraid. You was going to ask me about a quote. That would be my biggest quote to tell myself back in the day. Don't be afraid. Yeah. Just do it.
So real quick, we always do a Wyze Wordz quote, and his favorite quote is,
shit, Nike, just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah, don't be afraid, man. Just do it, man. I don't even know who came up with the quote, because as a child growing up, man, there was a lot of things, man, that I was like, man, I should have did this. I should have done that. I should have did this. I should have done that. Excuses.
Yeah.
I should have just done it.
Yeah.
I should have just done it. You see what I'm saying?
And Nike, turn out.
Yeah, Nike, I need y'all to pay me for that.
Hey, they gonna send you a check.
Shit, I need them too.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, but man, don't be afraid, man. If I could, my cousin used to always tell me, what would you tell yourself if you could go back and tell yourself something? What would you tell yourself? And that's what I'd say, man. Don't be afraid. Only thing motherfucker can tell you is no. How many times you heard?
That's one of his questions.
Yeah,
tell your 20-year-old self something. What would it be?
Yeah. So how many times you been told no before?
Lots.
Yeah.
Way more than no. Way more than yes.
Is it any different any other time anybody else says it? Yeah. So don't be afraid, man. Just do it.
Man, something I've realized, man, is a lot of people have like a certain morning routine or structure to kind of start the day. What do you do to start your day out right?
Shit, thank God I'm alive. And man, my morning routine is basic, man. It's basic math. Get up, brush my teeth. You know, I usually take my showers at night. So where I work at, man, it's fucking goddamn. It's hot as fuck. Make a long story short, man. And just get up, brush my teeth, grab me something to drink.
What do you drink?
Water most of the time. Yeah, because I drink a lot of liquor at night, so I gotta rehydrate.
That's right. Well, moving on from that, books are always big. You're right. You wrote some books and stuff. So, like, as far as stuff you read, what's something that you would recommend or give to others?
Yeah. What's your excuse?
What's your excuse?
What's your
on that?
Larry Turnley.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your excuse, man? Only because, man, it's good motivation. You know, I'd also read Mind of a Millionaire.
Okay.
You know, just because, man, thinking drags a lot of people down. So, man, if you're not thinking positive or pushing for something positive, man, you need to be. I was always told you the smartest person in the room in the wrong room.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that quote.
Yeah, so with that being said, man, I try to start my days out positive. I try to make sure what I read is positive. The days that I follow on social media is positive, and I can gain information. I just feel like the mind is an endless vault of information, and the more information, whether you think it's worthless or not, shit, store it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I read a lot. So many times, like the stuff I read throughout the day, somebody will bring up a topic during the day that I can go back to the book and be like, oh, quote this or quote that. So.
Yeah, and like I said, the mind's a computer, man. You gotta feed it. You gotta put storage in it. Mm-hmm. And like you said, the more, just like you said, when people quote something that you've already read, they can't quote it to you wrong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Information is endless. I mean, and it's better to know. It's better to know than to guess.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. So something kind of fun, man. Do you have like a pet peeve, something that gets under your skin more than other things?
People chew with their mouth open. I fucking can't stand it. I can't. I said smack when they chew.
Yeah.
And I probably do the shit, you know what I mean? But to hear somebody else do it, man, like, what's the name of that TV show? Was not Spider-Man, but the Venom. You know, when dude hear the loud noises in his skin start crawling and shit. Chewing with your mouth open and talking with food, I cannot stand it.
All right. We're going to go deep one more time before we kind of land the plane here. So, on your tombstone, you get to put like a saying or a quote that kind of stands for what your life did. What would you have on your tombstone? We're not talking pepperoni or sausage.
Shit, I don't know, man. I won't be good. The struggle's over. Shit, fuck a tombstone. Shit, throw me off in the ocean.
Hey,
shit, I don't give a damn.
That'll work.
Yeah.
So, all right, I got a question for you, because you know you're a hip hop head or whatever. You know, came up in the urban culture, listen to rap. I gotta ask you, like, the state of hip hop right now. What do you think about it, and where do you see it going?
Hey, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Not because the music's always gonna be good. It's just a different form of music that people's putting out. But the actual factual about hip hop right now is the trying to hit this right on the head. The influence that it has. The influence that it has now. You know, I don't know. A lot of people might consider it conspiracy theory, but I believe that the message is leading a few of us down the wrong road. You know what I mean?
But it has.
Most importantly, the youth, right?
Man.
But it has. This isn't a new thing, though.
Yeah, but the politics are different.
Oh yeah.
The politics are different. I
The
mean,
power of the media behind
yeah,
it.
it's different, man. You know, it used to be a time, shit.
Rappers wear dresses now, man. Like, think about it. And, you know, people are going to hear that and be like, yeah, well, so what? But that's a big deal, right?
Well, that's the problem if they're saying
whenever we was coming up, you didn't do that shit.
Politics, man. Like, I don't want to go too deep on the shit, man, because what I believe might not be something that somebody else believe. But what's the best way to keep a race from reproducing?
Yeah. You effeminate the males in a society.
So they
and not only does it keep them reproducing, but it keeps them from being combative. Because a society that celebrates masculinity and a warrior culture is not to be trifled with, right? So if you want a submissive, soft-ass, effeminate society, yeah, you're going to take the masculinity out of it.
So I think y'all just answered y'all's own question. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. So we like to do another little fun thing, kind of get to know you a little bit better. It's called rapid fire questions. So we're just gonna pop off some questions and give us like your first instinct answer on it. I'm gonna start it off with like, you're going to a restaurant. What are you ordering to drink?
Water.
Okay.
Or Sprite.
Pepsi or Coke? Coke.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
Football or basketball?
Football.
Oh yeah. So, yeah, in a nutshell, West Side Stories by Damien Cone on Amazon. Tap in.
You won't be discouraged. You won't be disappointed. You won't be disappointed. West Side Stories, New Life Productions. You know what I mean? Shit, it's like my buddy, like my big OG say, it's a movement, not a moment.
Hey, where can people find you?
Man, you could catch me on I'm on Twitter, Damien Cone. I'm on Facebook. You know, my name is pretty much my tag on everything. If you just type it in, you're gonna find me. You know what I mean? But other than that, if you can't find Damien Cone, just look for Max Slim, and when you Google it, if the computer come up, that's around Max Slim.
At the Mac.
Yeah.
So what are you working on now? What's next, man?
The second book, man, I got my little cousin, man. He done started his own little production team. I'm gonna help try to push that. My biggest thing right now, honestly, man, that's at the forefront for me is to get into this activism part, you know, into the political ring and help, you know, change things in our community. You know what I mean?
Need it.
Yeah, we definitely do, man. You've seen it. We've got zombies walking around here. You know, the price of living is higher than it's ever been, but the paychecks ain't changing, you know. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Andy Bashir, and there's a lot that he does right, but it don't just rest on Andy's hands. If locally our people are not looking out for us, then they're not gonna look out for us when the laws go to the top.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, we're in a culture now that we're being told what to do instead of ask what they want us to do. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that don't work for me. You know, shit.
Well, and they're focusing on shit that really don't even matter at the end of the day.
Well,
you
because
know
the
what I'm
things
saying?
that
Like,
do matter, they don't want us to see.
Right.
Because they don't want us to speak out on it. They don't want our opinion about it. They want to do what they've been doing. That's what they want to do.
They want us squabbling over bathrooms and
Yeah,
you know, this,
man.
that, and the other.
Technically, man, I don't give a fuck what a motherfucker want to do. That's your life. It don't bother me.
Yeah, but when they expect you to play along with it, you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
like that's where it kind of gets.
There's
like,
so many things that's going on right now that is so serious that I don't give a fuck about what bathroom a motherfucker want to go to.
Right.
What y'all gonna do about what's going on in Africa right now? You know what I'm saying? What y'all gonna do about Russia and China and all these countries linking to build bricks and taking value away from American dollars? That's the shit I want to talk about.
Yeah.
That's the shit I want to see.
and
That's what I want to see.
happening this month, right?
Man, run your campaign on that. Don't run your campaign on who want to dress like a woman, who want to dress like a man. I truly don't give a fuck.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Run your campaign on what's going on in the world now and what you're going to do to change or make it better for the American people. If you're not doing that, then you're not talking about anything. I don't give a damn about what happened. What you going to do about these school shootings? What you know, one of our closest allies right next door, our neighbors, Mexico. Why are you treating people like that? Let's talk about those type of things.
Yeah.
Let's not look over that like that's not happening every day. You know what I mean? You know, so let's be real. You know, don't nobody want to talk about the real because don't nobody want to fit. Everybody's scared of what somebody might think or what somebody might say. But those are the real things that we need. This country need to be focusing on.
Yeah.
Donald Trump taking messages and taking photos back to his fucking house. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
Shit. What y'all gonna do about what's China and Russia having destroyers and shit sitting on right outside of Alaska? Y'all ain't talking about that.
And China buying land and property in America around our military bases.
Y'all not talking about that.
Flying balloons and shit over. Like,
Ain't nobody talking about that though, is it?
No, it's all distraction.
Yeah.
Man, we you know, we're gonna get behind you and support you, and hopefully everybody else will too. And we appreciate you coming through.
No problem, man.
We're gonna do this again.
I bet, man.